At the opening of episode 4, the world of the Bartlett-Fleming clan appears deceptively tranquil, but the trailer and leaks suggest that this is anything but a stable moment. The ranch is functioning, the horses are flourishing, and relationships look steady on the surface. Yet, the new season's promo teased a key shift. Every ending is a new beginning. News plus one. That line carries an ominous weight, as though the foundation is about to crack. We know from prior episodes that Amy Fleming has found herself in a budding relationship with Nathan Price. The trailer hints that this relationship will play a central role in the disruption. Will Amy's choice here trigger a chain reaction? The leaks suggest yes. A wild card enters. Amy's resolute loyalty to the ranch, her daughter, her legacy, whatever hits next has to threaten all three. The silence before the impact feels deliberate. Meanwhile, the familial dynamics we've come to rely on are showing cracks. Trust among the Bartlett-Fleming clan, public perception of the ranch's business, and the interplay with outside forces. One of the leaks references a ranch-shattering family secret news. That secret appears poised to invade the calm, with episode 4 being the point of breach. What's interesting is how the show uses wilderness in the title. It's not simply a physical backdrop. The wilderness here is emotional, relational, business-wise. Amy must step into uncharted territory. The trailer shows her gazing into something unknown, foreboding. The stage is set for unexpected tremors. For the audience, the promise is clear. Don't trust the status quo. The series has built its emotional strength on how the characters adapt. But episode 4 may challenge that adaptation. Amy's journey doesn't just continue. It shifts direction. Nathan's role gets elevated, and the ranch's future gets a new angle. It's as if the peaceful valley we know is about to become the wilderness. In this section of the video, we'll explore how the calm is being set up only to be disrupted. We'll unpack the hints about the secret, the implications for Amy's relationships, especially with Nathan, and the way the ranch itself becomes a character in danger. The visuals from the trailer show Amy riding into dusk, Nathan watching from a distance, and a shot of someone unknown walking the barn at twilight. These all point to an intrusion of the quiet. The key thread. Episode 4 isn't about rebuilding what was broken, it's about confronting what was hidden. And in that confrontation, nothing will be the same. The wilderness isn't just outside, it's inside their lives. By the end of this section, viewers should understand that the show isn't merely entering new territory for Amy and Nathan, it's forcing them into it. Just when fans thought Amy and Nathan were finally finding their rhythm, the trailer throws us headfirst into chaos. And not just emotional chaos, but actual physical danger. One of the most shocking moments teased in the episode 4 trailer is the turbulent flight involving Caleb and Nathan. Now, on paper, this may seem like a dramatic plot twist thrown in for suspense, but if you've been following Heartland long enough, you know this show doesn't do random. Every shake, every stumble, every moment of fear, it means something deeper. Let's break it down. From what we've gathered in leaks and early footage, Caleb takes it upon himself to fly Nathan to meet his father. Sounds noble, right? But the tension between these two men is anything but subtle. It's been bubbling for a while. Caleb, once a loyal friend of Ty, has grown increasingly uneasy with Nathan's presence. While Amy is slowly opening up, even hinting at love, Caleb can't seem to accept that someone new might be taking Ty's place. In Amy's heart, in Lindy's life, and perhaps even in the tight-knit circle of Heartland itself. So, what happens when two men with unspoken resentment take to the skies in a small plane? A perfect storm, literally and emotionally. The leaks confirm what the trailer suggests. Mid-flight, weather conditions change rapidly, and the plane is caught in a terrifying pocket of turbulence. They're forced to make an emergency landing in a remote, desolate area, miles away from help. This isn't just a "we got stuck" scenario. This is Heartland's way of isolating two characters who desperately need to confront their issues without any chance of walking away. And that's exactly what happens. While grounded, Caleb and Nathan finally snap. Harsh truths spill out. Caleb implies that Nathan will never be good enough for Amy, that Ty was and always will be the only man worthy of her love. But Nathan isn't one to fold. He fires back with a line that cuts deep. "I'm not competing with Ty. I'm trying to build something real with the woman he loved." And there it is. The emotional bomb that shifts everything. Nathan is tired of being compared to a memory. As much as he respects Ty's legacy, he also understands that love isn't about replacing the past. It's about writing the future. But Caleb, he's not ready to let go. Not of Ty's memory, not of Amy's past, and maybe not even of the old version of himself that lived in Ty's shadow. This fight isn't just about Amy. It's about guilt, grief, loyalty, and the slow-burning jealousy that comes when someone you knew as a friend starts becoming a symbol of what you've lost. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Amy begins to sense something's wrong. The tension she felt before Nathan left now weighs heavier. And there's a critical line in the trailer. Amy whispering to herself, "I pushed him away." Again, it's subtle, but packed with meaning. Her fear of fully embracing Nathan because of the ever-present ghost of Ty is starting to cost her something real, something living, something she may lose if she hesitates too long. This episode, through the lens of a dangerous flight and an emotional clash, is asking us something fundamental. Can love grow when grief still holds the soil? And here's the suspenseful part. We don't know how this confrontation ends. The trailer cuts right before it reveals whether they make it back safely. One leak suggests a third party will be involved in their rescue. Another hints that Nathan might not return the same man he was when he left. Emotionally bruised, yes, but maybe stronger, maybe resolved. And perhaps, just perhaps, Amy will realize what she's on the verge of losing. By the end of this section, we understand that episode 4 isn't just setting up a rivalry, it's pulling two legacies, Ty's and Nathan's, into the same frame and asking, which one will Amy choose to live with? Or can she learn to live with both? The turbulence may have rocked that plane, but it's about to shake Heartland to its core. While the chaos of Caleb and Nathan's flight takes center stage in the trailer, the real storm brews much closer to home, inside Amy. For all her quiet strength, Amy is still haunted by the love she lost. And now, she's being asked to open herself to something new. But love isn't a switch you flip. It's a door you have to unlock. And for Amy, that door is still jammed by the weight of memory. Let's rewind. We've watched Amy resist Nathan's affections, not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much. Every time she starts to feel safe, Ty's presence rises. Not as a ghost in the shadows, but as a benchmark that no living man could ever live up to. That's the tragedy here. Nathan isn't failing. In fact, he's doing everything right. But he's trying to reach a heart still trapped in yesterday. And in episode 4, Amy finally reaches her emotional breaking point. After hearing about the emergency landing, something shifts in her. The show doesn't need flashy drama to convey this. It's in the silence, the pacing, the way she clutches her phone but doesn't call. It's in the guilt of not saying what she truly felt before Nathan left. And it's in the sudden realization that if anything had happened to him, she would have lost her second chance at love before ever giving it a real chance. There's a leaked scene description where Amy stands alone in the barn, staring at Ty's old tools. Not crying, not speaking, just being still. It's that quiet stillness that tells us she's finally letting go. Not of Ty, but of the fear of betraying his memory by loving again. And just like that, everything changes. When Nathan finally returns from the wilderness, tired, scraped up, and emotionally raw from his clash with Caleb, Amy doesn't hesitate this time. She doesn't pull away when he speaks. She doesn't flinch when he reaches out. And most importantly, she doesn't let fear stop her from taking that final step forward. In a moment fans have waited for all season, Amy finally tells Nathan the truth. I don't want to live in the past anymore. I want to build something with you. It's not dramatic, it's not even loud, but it's real. And for Amy, that level of vulnerability is more intimate than any kiss. But there's more. According to early leaks, this moment doesn't just end in confession. It leads to the first truly intimate scene between the two. One that is respectful, emotional, and most of all, earned. Because that's what Heartland has always done well. It makes you wait. It makes sure that when a moment finally happens, it means something. This scene will be a major turning point for Amy. Not because she's moving on from Ty, but because she's growing from the grief. She's learning that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing love again, even when it terrifies you. And for Nathan, this is confirmation that his patience, his respect, and his sincerity haven't been in vain. Now, let's be clear. Not every fan will be happy about this. Ty was, and still is, a beloved part of this show. And any new romance will naturally feel like an intrusion. But here's what the writers are doing with care. They're not asking viewers to forget Ty, they're asking us to root for Amy, to want her to live a full, joyful life, even if it looks different than we imagined. And frankly, Nathan has proven himself worthy. He's not trying to replace Ty, he's trying to stand beside Amy. Not in Ty's shadow, but in the light she's finally letting in. The brilliance of episode 4 lies in this duality. It's both a survival story and a love story. One man facing danger in the wilderness, and one woman confronting her own emotional wilderness back home. And when the two stories collide again, what's left standing isn't just a new couple, it's a new chapter. The intimate scene is a signal, not just of romance, but of a shift in the entire tone of the season. Because now, Amy is no longer caught between past and future. She's made a choice, and that choice will affect everything moving forward, from her relationship with Lindy, to how the ranch evolves, to how the other characters respond. Especially Caleb. Because, make no mistake, for all his tough talk in the plane, Caleb is not done. And as Amy and Nathan get closer, so does the emotional fallout, not just for him, but for everyone who still sees Amy as part of Ty's legacy. But one thing's clear now. Amy's heart is no longer frozen in the past. She's moving forward. And the question now is, who's ready to move forward with her and who's not? Amy and Nathan's emotional breakthrough might feel like a resolution, but in true Heartland fashion, it's just the calm before another storm. In the wake of their first intimate moment, a moment so emotionally earned and deeply vulnerable, the walls around them don't hold steady. In fact, they begin to shake. Because love in Heartland doesn't exist in a vacuum, it echoes. And every echo touches someone else. The trailer shows us flickers of fallout. Lou looking away with a tight jaw, Tim pacing the barn, Jack saying nothing at all, just staring out over the land with that familiar heavy look of worry. Something is wrong, not just wrong between individuals, something larger, something no one wants to talk about yet. But it's coming. Let's start with Caleb. His confrontation with Nathan in the wilderness might have seemed like the climax of his emotional arc, but according to leaks, it was only the first crack. He returns to Heartland quieter than usual, reserved, even subdued, but the tension is visible. He barely looks at Amy. He avoids Ashley. And then, a surprising twist. He starts avoiding the ranch altogether. Now, this isn't like Caleb. Sure, he's always been hot-headed and proud, but at his core, he's loyal. To Jack, to the horses, to the land. For him to walk away without a word means something deeper is brewing. This leads us to the biggest whisper floating through episode 4. The secret. Leaked production notes and insider blogs have hinted for months about a ranch-shattering family truth that would come to light mid-season. Many fans speculated it had something to do with Tim's past, and now signs are pointing toward it. According to one leak, a mysterious visitor appears at the end of episode 4. Not someone entirely new, someone vaguely familiar. The trailer gives us a blink-and-you-miss-it glimpse of a woman stepping out of a truck, holding an old photograph, and walking straight toward the ranch house. No one greets her. No one knows she's coming. But she's not lost. She knows exactly where she is. And here's where the puzzle pieces start falling into place. This woman, as rumored, may be connected to Tim, and not in a casual way. One theory suggests she's carrying documentation tied to a land ownership dispute. Another hints at something even more personal, a second family Tim never spoke of. This would explain Jack's silence and Tim's sudden defensiveness in the trailer when asked if there's something he needs to tell Amy. Because if this woman carries evidence that Tim made choices decades ago that could impact the legal status of the ranch or even Amy's inheritance, then everything changes. And Amy? She's just begun to open her heart again. The timing of this revelation couldn't be more cruel. Her emotional foundation with Nathan is still fresh, still fragile. A betrayal or disruption from within the family could rattle her trust all over again. Even more unsettling is Jack's behavior. Jack has always been the rock, the one who knows how to steady the ship. But in this episode, something about his stillness feels different. He's not just calm, he's bracing. Like he knows what's coming and is already grieving the damage it will cause. And the ranch itself, the land, the horses, the very legacy, is on the line. That's what makes this secret so powerful. It's not just about personal relationships. It threatens the identity of Heartland. The idea that this land, passed down through generations, might have legal or emotional claims tied to it that no one expected, is devastating. The trailer underscores this with a chilling line from Amy. If this place stops being ours, then what are we fighting for? That line doesn't just foreshadow a legal dispute, it foreshadows an emotional collapse. And that's what's brilliant about episode 4. Just when the characters start putting their personal lives back together, Amy letting go of grief, Nathan stepping forward, even Caleb confronting his buried emotions, the ground beneath them all shifts again. This isn't just another episode, it's a pressure point, a slow build of tension that hints at major change, something that will test every relationship, every loyalty, every legacy. By the end of this section, the audience should feel it too, the sense that nothing is safe anymore, not even Heartland itself. And that's the hook going into episode 5. Because once a secret is out, it can't be buried again, not even in the wide open soil of Alberta. There are episodes in long-running shows that fans remember not because of how they end, but because of how they change everything. Season 19, episode 4 of Heartland is shaping up to be that kind of episode. The one that doesn't just push a few characters forward, but flips the board and rearranges the entire game. Let's step back and look at what's on the table. We have Amy finally stepping out of the shadows of her grief, embracing a future with Nathan. A moment of rare peace, hope, and emotional maturity. But just as this love begins to bloom, the soil it's planted in starts to crack beneath their feet. There's Caleb, torn between past loyalty and present jealousy, unraveling quietly and dangerously. His return to the ranch isn't triumphant. It's haunted. The wilderness may have ended, but the war inside him is only beginning. His silence now speaks louder than any outburst ever could.